Hey y'all, so God gave me some super interesting analogy, and I'm in bed, but I feel like this needs to be put out, and this is for the wives, um, especially the wives who are currently waiting for their husband, um, possibly in separation, but in communication a little bit, but not united together in marriage yet in the physical. First and foremost, God brought me back to a dream that I had. And this dream was very short, but deep. So, my spouse was standing, we were in a home together, and my spouse was standing in the kitchen. And I was standing across from him, like in a living room area or something. And I was on the phone with my mom. Now, in this phone, the way God gave this to me being on the phone was representing my connection with God and my relationship with God. And my spouse being in the kitchen, a kitchen can be in a dream represented as a place of preparation. So in this dream, as I'm talking on the phone, my spouse isn't saying anything. He's being quiet, kind of just giving me like space to talk on the phone, but listening. He's listening to my conversation. And as he's listening, he starts to pray, and and in the dream, I remember thinking like, where did he learn to pray like that? Like I didn't know he could pray like that. And what God has given me now with that dream is that while he is in his preparation season, he is learning from me and my connection and relationship with God. And so, what God gave me over the last few days was quite interesting. So I got in my car a few days ago and noticed a sticker on my window that I've never noticed really before. The number 6677 had stuck out to me, but I looked at it and just kept going about my day. Well, not my day, but I just left it alone, got in the car, and as I was driving, a few minutes later, I pass a sign with a phone number on it that the last four digits of the phone number were 6677. And I'm like, okay, that's the same number. So when God is trying to show you something, sometimes, a lot of the time, he'll like do it back to back to back in twos and threes. So I was like, okay, once I get to a red light, I'll look the number up in the Strong's Concordance. And so so as I get to this stoplight, I notice a pain in the back of my neck, right? And I'm like, that's weird. So anyway, so then I look the number up in the Strong's, and it literally means the back of the neck. I'm like, okay, I hear you. So I make note of this, and then yesterday I started to sit with God on this, and I decided to look further into like the back of the neck. Like, what is the purpose of it? What I found is it supports the weight and movement of the head and protects the nervous system. Okay. And the nervous system controls, everything in the body. So then I'm like, okay. The back of the neck, so what God gave me, the back of the neck represents the wife. And the head, obviously, is the husband. So then you look into that. Now you look at it from that perspective. The wife supports the weight and movement of the husband and protects the nervous system, what controls the body. When you and your husband are one, and even though you might be in separation, in the spirit you're already married, that's already your husband, so you are one body. the meaning behind a pain in the neck, when you call someone a pain in the neck, you're being an annoyance to them, you know? And what does the Bible say about a nagging wife? Well, Proverbs 27 verse 15. Let's see. A quarreling wife is as bothersome let me start over. A quarreling wife is as bothersome as a continual dripping on a rainy day. Stopping her is like stopping the wind. It's like trying to grab oil in your hand. Also, another verse that got brought to my attention was a wise woman builds her home and a foolish woman tears her home down with her own hand. Also, when I looked up what happens if you have a pain in your neck, like an actual physical pain in your neck, like what happens, it actually starts to affect a lot of other things in the body. There's so much, like, I hope that you have spiritual ears to hear this and just you're catching it, because in your husband's preparation season, just as you went through yours, you as a wife, you are to be supporting him. And when I looked further into the definitions on support, weight, movement, and protects, remember, the wife supports the weight and movement of the husband and protects the nervous system, the body, okay? Or the way that the body functions, essentially. Support, to bear all or part of the weight, to hold up. The weight, the heaviness of a person or thing. Movement, a change or development. Protects, to keep safe from harm or injury. So by helping bear the weight, helping hold up the weight, the heaviness that your husband is experiencing as he is changing and developing in his preparation season, you are protecting the both of you. Again, if you have a pain in your neck, it throws off other things in the body. If you have if you are starting to find yourself pointing out flaws or nitpicking at certain things that you don't see happening in the physical with your husband, certain things are, you're allowing to get to you, you're getting in your emotions, and you're trying to put your hands in it, you have to remember that is causing more harm than good. And God, at the end of the day, is the only person who can change and heal this person. You don't have that ability. So your job as the wife in this time in his preparation season is to help support him, and just stay obedient in what God is directing you and calling you to do. I've run out of time in this video, but I hope that y'all catch this.